Welcome to Arsenal Report, your daily source for all things Arsenal FC. From match updates and transfer talk to behind-the-scenes stories, we've got it all. If you're a true gunner, this is your home. Hit subscribe and join the pride. Victory through harmony. Let's get started. Arsenal are sizing up a move for Leicester starlet Bilal El-Khanous, who has received a vote of confidence from boss Ruud van Nistelrooy. The Gunners are looking to bolster Mikel Arteta's options across the pitch ahead of another title push next season. Arteta's men have finished as runners-up in the last two campaigns and look set to end up second for a third time on the trot this term. One area that needs reinforcements is attacking midfield. Captain Martin Odegaard has been a virtual ever-present under Arteta when he has not been injured, but the Norwegian has struggled for form since returning from an ankle problem. There is no player capable of truly replacing Odegaard within Arteta's setup. That has led to Arsenal turning there to potential candidates to act as competition for their skipper next season. Fabio Vieira could be an option, but given his struggles on loan at Porto, it appears his time at the Emirates Stadium is over. That has led to the emergence of El-Khanous as a potential option. The 20-year-old only joined Leicester from Genk last August in a £21 million deal. But he has shone in what has been a woeful season for the Foxes as they have gone straight back down to the Championship. According to The Sun, Arsenal are monitoring the young playmaker who was named Genk's Player of the Season in his final year in Belgium. There are concerns about his physicality, but his incredible technique and vision have impressed the Gunners. It is said he could be a useful squad addition for Arteta, and Leicester's relegation means he could be relatively cheap, despite having 3 years to run on his contract. El-Khanous has scored 3 goals and notched 5 assists in his 35 appearances across all competitions. Van Nistelrooy is clearly a big fan of El-Khanous, having named him in every Premier League starting lineup of his tenure at the King Power Stadium. The Dutchman has even claimed the midfielder has the ability to star in the Champions League. His potential is there to be a top player in the Champions League. He can go a long way, the Leicester said earlier this season. He's not afraid to challenge the big teams in the league. He did very well in the home game against Manchester City. He's young, he came into the Premier League this season. He's developing really well. He's looking to add to his numbers. It's a matter of time, the goals and assists. There are still games for him to add to those numbers. He's a hard worker. He wants to improve. He's very young still. He's one definitely for the future of this club, to bring the club forward. He's come from the Belgian League to the Premier League. He's playing into a team where we're in the situation where we are. He's a technical player and he needs to be on the ball a lot. That's where his strengths are. For where we are, sometimes there are different games for him, but for his development, it's great. Mikel Arteta's full focus will be on overturning Arsenal's current deficit to PSG in their Champions League semi-final next week. But Gunners' sporting director Andrea Berta is already setting plans in place for this summer's transfer window. Berta is thought to be gearing up for a busy few months in the market. Boss Arteta is keen to bring in the players who can help Arsenal finally get over the line in their search for a first Premier League title since 2004. The London side spent nearly £95 million in last summer's transfer window, though their signings have mostly failed to live up to expectations. That means the upcoming market will be a crucial one. Top of the shopping list is a new striker, with Gabriel Jesus falling out of favour and Kai Havertz not regarded as a top-level forward. One player on the shortlist is Sporting Lisbon's Victor Gyökeres. Gyökeres is being tracked by many of Europe's top clubs, but Arsenal have now received a major boost in their pursuit of him. Here, Arsenal Report rounds up all the latest Gunners transfer news. Riccardo Calafiori only arrived at Arsenal last summer in a £42 million move from Bologna, but a disappointing debut season has left him already edging towards the exit door. A knee injury disrupted his progress, but he has also struggled to adapt to England. According to Milan Live, the Gunners are now ready to listen to offers for the 22-year-old. A tentative price tag of £30 million has been set on the defender's head, with Juventus said to be seriously considering a move. AC Milan are ready to rival Juve for the Italian international's signature, with the Rossoneri considering the possibility of a swap deal. Malik Thiaw and Fikayo Tomori are both considered to be potential makeweights. Mikel Arteta has insisted he is every confident that William Saliba will remain at Arsenal beyond this summer. The Frenchman has been heavily linked with a move to Real Madrid, but Arteta believes he will remain a Gunners player. I leave those kind of things more for Andrea Berta and the club to talk about. What I'm certain about, because I have the conversation with him, is that he's so happy here, he wants to continue with us, he said. What will happen in the future always is with negotiations, something that takes time and process, and to be on top of them. But I am confident William is very happy here, and that's the place he wants to be. Arsenal have emerged as the front-runners to sign Sporting Lisbon star Victor Gyökeres. The Swedish striker is being tracked by many of Europe's top clubs, having created a fearsome reputation in front of goal in Portugal. According to Ebola, the Gunners have edged ahead of Liverpool and Manchester City in the race to sign Gyökeres. New sporting director Andrea Berta is said to be a big fan of the 26-year-old. Sporting have set a price tag of £85 million on Gyökeres and are said to be resistant to any offer below that. It is currently unknown if Arsenal are willing to spend such a high amount, though they are stepping up their pursuit. Paris Saint-Germain are putting their full focus into the second leg of their Champions League semi-final against Arsenal. Luis Enrique's men have already won the Ligue 1 title, having lost just one game all season. They have also reached the final of the Coupe de France and have one foot in the Champions League final, having beaten Arsenal 1-0 at the Emirates on Tuesday. The Gunners will travel to the Parc des Princes on Wednesday for the return leg. PSG are desperate to finally win the Champions League, having reached the semi-finals in 4 of the last 6 seasons. Their lead over Arsenal is only a slender one, with Mikel Arteta's men also keen to end their drought in the European Cup. Both sides are in domestic action this weekend, with the Gunners hosting Bournemouth on Saturday evening. PSG, meanwhile, will travel to Strasbourg at the same time, with their hosts chasing a European qualification spot. Despite their opponents likely presenting a tough challenge, Enrique has his eyes set on Arsenal, and he is taking no chances when it comes to ensuring he will be able to call upon his star men for Wednesday's game, with Ousmane Dembele already a doubt. According to RMC Sport, the PSG boss will leave Achraf Hakimi, Nuno Mendes and Marquinhos out of the squad, which will travel to Strasbourg. The French champions are set to name those travelling to the Stade de la Méno on Saturday morning. The trio of star defenders will not be included among that group though, as Enrique looks to protect them. Several other stars are also said to be rested ahead of the second leg against Arsenal, but have not yet been named. PSG won the reverse fixture 4-2 in Paris back in October, and Enrique has insisted he is keen to claim a win. The Spaniard refused to divulge his plans for his squad, cheekily telling journalists on Friday, "You will see that tomorrow." He added, "We're going to do what we've been doing up to now, with the same idea. Nothing has changed. The most important thing is that every minute spent wearing the PSG jersey is useful for matches in other competitions. It's a match we're preparing for in the Champions League, in the Coupe de France, not for the unbeaten record. It would be great to win the match in Strasbourg, but the motivation is to prepare for the Champions League match, not to break an unbeaten record. Invisible training is essential for a professional player, and I don't worry about what he does at home. The club has a culture and tries to improve the player. We are experts on such tight schedules. Last year we were only missing one match, the Champions League final. We want to achieve this objective of playing this final, but there is still the semi-final second leg. We are used to it. There is not much time to rest. You have to manage all of this. We, the coaches, go for the best. Many variations change every week. I have been a top-level coach for several years, and it is part of the job." Former Liverpool star Mark Lawrenson has urged Mikel Arteta to remove the captain's armband from Martin Odegaard following the Champions League defeat at home to Paris Saint-Germain. Lawrenson believes the removal of the armband would allow the Norwegian to focus more on his on-field contributions as the Gunners look to rebound at the Parc des Princes. Arsenal were beaten 1-0 by PSG, with Ousmane Dembele scoring the only goal of the game inside 5 minutes. Some fans were left frustrated by the performance of the skipper as Mikel Arteta's team struggled to create too many clear-cut chances at home. Lawrenson has called on Arteta to give the armband to Declan Rice going forward. England midfielder Rice has experience of captaining a club to European glory, helping West Ham win the Conference League in 2023, though the Champions League is admittedly a different beast. The captain's armband should be taken away from Martin Odegaard so he can get back to focusing on his performances, Lawrenson told Paddy Power. We all know that he's a good player, but he's just had a 6 out of 10 season. If you gave Declan Rice the armband instead, you imagine that it wouldn't affect his performances, especially considering he was captain at West Ham. I'd give it to Rice so Odegaard can focus on improving his performances. Arsenal will be able to call upon Thomas Partey for the second leg in Paris. Mikel Merino dropped back into midfield at home while the Ghanaian was suspended, with Odegaard and Rice also starting in the centre. I think Declan and Mikel were enormous, manager Arteta told Amazon Prime after the defeat. Partey gives options and a different threat. It gives us flexibility to change the game. It's half-time, and we have a big chance to be in the final. PSG star Vitinha also described Partey as a good player, while reflecting on his own team's impressive first-leg performance. It was a great night, mostly for the group, the Portugal international said. It was a very good performance for the team. We had the ball most of the games. This game we had to adapt to the different circumstances, and we did it. We defended well, and we attacked well. The winner of the two-legged tie will go on to face either Barcelona or Inter Milan in the final. Inter stunned their opponents as they took an early 2-0 lead in Montjuic, but Barca battled back to claim a 3-3 draw in the first leg.